Good morning and namaste everyone. Welcome to the new episode of Coca-Cola Presents Youth Dialogue by Glocal Pvt Ltd. Today we are here at the premises of United College and it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all in this episode. Topic of today's panel discussion is Today's Youth for Tomorrow's World, and we have our two amazing panelists here. Firstly, we have Ms. Sneha Rajbhandari, who is the Public Affairs, Communication and Sustainable Director at Coca-Cola Nepal. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause. Likewise, we have Ms. Sadiksha Shrestha, who is the former Miss Nepal. She's an entrepreneur and a very amazing personality. So let's welcome her. And my name is Sarup Akarel and I'm the moderator of today's panel discussion. So we are talking about today's youth, right? So when you hear the word youth, like what comes in your mind? I would like to start with Ms. Sneha.
Good morning, Unitedians, right? Am I saying that right? Yeah. How am I supposed to say it, guys? Very good morning to all of you. It's incredible to be here this morning and to have your young energy as well. Youth भनेपछि actually माइन्डमा धेरै कुरा आउँछ होला हैन, तर एकचोटी youth भनेको definition wise या परिभाषाको हिसाबमा के हो भनेर त्यहाँबाट सुरु गर्दा कस्तो होला हुन्छ? Do you guys know how youth are defined in the world? So मलाई एउटा एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्यो न त यहाँ तपाईहरुलाई थाहा पनि होला हैन? The UN defines youth as being between 15 to 24 years old, which I think would probably cover most of you sitting out there in the audience, right? Interestingly, मलाई एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्छ नेपालमा हाम्रो युवाको परिभाषा चाहिँ 16 देखि 40 जसले गर्दा म पनि युवा भएँ त्यसपछि हैन. So there's good and bad in this, I think, हैन. Both good and bad. Good because I think youth are known to have energy, a lot of creativity, and युवाले के गर्छु भनेर सोच्नु भयो भने भएरै छोड्छ भन्ने पनि हाम्रो विश्वास छ है. अर्को कुरा चाहिँ मलाई एकदम लागेको चाहिँ हामीले हुन त कन्भर्सेसनमा टुडेज युथ फर टुमोरोज वर्ल्ड भनिरहेछौँ हैन, तर आई थिंक टुडेज युथ इज फर द प्रेजेन्ट एन्ड नट जस्ट फर द फ्युचर, एन्ड वाट यु डु टुडे विल रियली लिभ अ मार्क अन वाट इज येट टु कम. म आफै पनि हुन त अब अन्डर 40 छु, तर आफूलाई पनि युवा नै मान्छु हैन, र विभिन्न यो यङ youth organizationहरुमा पनि पार्टिसिपेट गरे. र मलाई सबैभन्दा रमाइलो लागेको चाहिँ द मिनेट यु ग्रेजुएट फ्रम कलेज हैन, तपाईहरु पनि बीबीए गरिरहनु भएको छ, अन्डरग्रेड गरिरहनु भएको छ, यु विल रियली फिल लाइक तपाईहरुले जे इच्छाउनु भएको छ त्यही गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ हैन. एन्ड द्याट्स द एनर्जी द्याट वी रियली ह्याभ टु हार्नेस अफ youth, which has the potential to change the world for the better. So no pressure, guys. We're really depending on you to make a lot of positive changes in your homes, in your communities, and the world around you. And maybe I'll wrap up there, and then we'll have a conversation further about young people in the world and the mark you leave behind.
Do I have to answer the same? I think Sneha's already covered fantastically about what a youth is all about. My greetings and a very good morning to everyone as well. Thank you to Glocal, Coca-Cola and United for having me here. It is great early morning. Budalkantadekhin 8 बजे निस्केर आउँदाखेरि पनि I am very, very happy to see all smiling faces and head nods showing that all of you are not just physically but also mentally present here in this chilly morning. So for me, I think youth भन्ने बित्तिकै not just the age and all त भइहाल्यो, तर एउटा aspect youth अथवा young मान्छेहरुको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I feel like somebody who does not give up and tries just one more time. I would consider him, her, you know, they as youth. So if you life ma धेरै challenges around, so ups and downs bhayihalcha, and that's why that young spirit or the youth ko spirit say is, I think, someone who just tries one more time and does not give up. So even in your 40s or 50s, I think if you just go ahead and try one more time and do not accept defeat, I think you're a youth. Or do you say youth hosta like someone?
That's wonderful. Actually, I can relate to that. I can relate to that, obviously. And also, like everybody of us, we are in a learning phase and we learn so many things, you know? So that comes out of experience, that comes out of how we live our life. So, since we are talking about how we can envision, अहिलेको युथहरुले चाहिँ एउटा फ्युचरलाई पर्सिभ गर्ने एउटा कन्सेप्ट हैन, हजुरले चाहिँ कस्तो पाउनु भएको छ?
Well, that hand raise with the first question that you asked was quite shocking when she asked, how many of you see a bright future? There were like probably 5 hands up, you know, only 5 people saw a bright future. But I was pleasantly and very, very happy to see almost all hands up in the air when she asked, how many of you believe that you can create a better future for yourself? Or आफ्नो future आफैले राम्रो बनाउँछु भनेर कतिजना लाग्नु भएको छ भन्दा सबैजना, and हुन पनि हो. Nothing will be handed to you on a silver platter, sadly, right? You have to work hard, and परिश्रम र मेहनतको फल मिठो नै हुन्छ. So I would like to envision the youth of today and tomorrow to not be afraid of hard work. You know, अहिले चाहिँ a lot of people want instantaneous result and instantaneous success, because धेरैजनाले अहिलेको जेनेरेसनलाई टिकटक जेनेरेसन पनि भन्छ नि त हैन. So 15 seconds मा सबै कुरा सबै स्टोरी भन्न सक्ने, सबै कुरा भन्न भ्याउने, अनि इन्स्टेन्टेनियस कि आज पढ्यो, भोलि ग्रेजुएट भयो, पर्सि एउटा ट्रेनिङ लियो, निको पर्सि जब पायो, त्यसको पछि प्रमोसन. But life doesn't work like that, does it? So I would like to envision a tomorrow or a today with youth who are not afraid of hard work and have patience. Because once you get out of these doors and out of your comfort zone, where your teachers are really surrounding you, like safety net as a student, right? How many of you are just full-time students? No work, no part-time work, no internship. See, most of you, right? Meaning the one thing that is expected out of all of you is to, a bit louder? Study, right? Be students, right? The full time. Body tension. As a student, one role matra nibauna pani kattiko garo bhairachha. धेरै गाह्रो भइरहेछ है, one role. Now imagine later on you have to be a student, you have to be an employee, you have to probably provide, you probably have to do presentations and deadlines and work meetings and so many other things all at once. तर टाइम चाहिँ त्यतिको त्यति नै हुन्छ हैन. So my I envision the youth of today and tomorrow to not be afraid of hard work and to practice patience. I think I'd say that.
Thank you so much. So, हजुरले भने जस्तै youth know what they have to do. They can take some time, they can make mistakes, they can learn from their mistakes, they can develop their skills बिस्तारै हैन. तर एउटा कुरा भनेको चाहिँ युथहरूलाई अपर्च्युनिटी चाहिँ एकदमै चाहिन्छ हुन्छ नि. लाइक दे सिक फर अपर्च्युनिटी, कहाँबाट चाहिँ आई क्यान डेभलप माइसेल्फ हैन. युथहरूले चाहिँ अहिले धेरै जस्तो कतिजनाको माइन्डमा हुन्छ कि अब म पढेपछि वाट सुड आई डु हुन्छ नि, अब मैले कस्तो खालको अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू चाहिँ मैले पाउने, अर त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदम युथहरू फोकस भएर लागिरहनु भएको छ अहिले प्रेजेन्ट टाइममा हैन. सो त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ हाउ क्यान वी क्रिएट अपर्च्युनिटी फर द यङ पिपल हैन, so that we can positively impact their communities and the world. So this is for Mrs. Sneha.
Wow, that's a big question, to have a positive impact on the world, eh? But if you look at it, sometimes we look at what can we do to create opportunities. And I think youth actually are empowered themselves to create opportunities for themselves as well. But having said that, I think we always have to think about how can we be more inclusive, right? Young people or video more inclusive हामी भन्दा differently abled community को मान्छेहरुलाई पनि हामी कसरी more inclusive हुन सक्छौं भन्ने कुराहरु हामीले सोच्नु पर्छ हैन. So अब Botlers नेपालमा पनि in our office we really take diversity, equity and inclusion very, very seriously. अनि अहिले अब slowly we also are looking at internship programs so that we can get the youngest talent to come into our company as well. We're always looking for people with technical skills, but more importantly, I think we're also looking for people who have very good communication skills. I know. तपाईलाई के थाहा छ तर त्यसको बारेमा अरूलाई कसरी बुझाउनुहुन्छ त, अथवा त्यो लर्निङ लिएर how can you affect change in the organizations you join हुन्छ नि. So I think that also ends up becoming very, very important. यो सँगसँगै I think in terms of creating opportunities, तपाईलाई थाहा होला जस्तो म आफै पनि I joined the Global Shapers community when I was 24, 25 years old. Global Shapers community चाहिँ World Economic Forum को एउटा youth organization हो जुन संसारभरि छ हैन. And it started with the belief that young people deserve a voice in the decision making table हैन. हामी यसमा पार्टिसिपेट गरेपछि we used to volunteer, like we used to volunteer, we used to do things in the community. Earthquake पछि ग्लोबल शेपर्सले मात्र हैन अरु विभिन्न युवाहरूले मिलेर नेपाललाई रिबिल्ड गर्न यति सहयोग गर्नुभयो हैन. So it's not always that somebody above us will offer us the opportunities. I think as young people we have to seek and create the opportunities ourselves. And I think, as Sadiksha said earlier, I think if we equip ourselves with all the skills we need, right? They say it's the skills needed for 21st century. In fact, the future because the jobs you're probably going to be in have not been created yet. So try and stay flexible, try and stay adaptable, and always make the most of any opportunity that comes your way.
Just one line. I think Sneha said very good things like inclusive banana parsa, opportunities dinu parsa, but a hard truth, I don't want to be bitter, but dealing with so many young people on a day-to-day basis, what I personally feel is that a proverb sunnu bhako cha, something to do with horse and water. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink it. I'll say it one more time. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink it. यो भन्नुको meaning के होला? Literal meaning त भएन नि. के होला? यसले भन्नु खोजेको के होला? Reading between the lines. हो जबरजस्ती गरेर हुँदैन. आजको युथहरुको अगाडि हामीले 10,000 वटा अपर्चुनिटी ल्याएर दिदा पनि if they do not take a step forward towards those opportunities, then 10,000 वटा opportunity create गरेको काम लाग्यो त. Simple examples, even in class. For example, if your teachers ask you to share something, कसैले के भन्नु मन छ यसको बारे भन्यो भने what will the first thing you do? Look to your friend. तिमी भन्देऊ न. Okay na? Right? अहिले पनि as students even we used to do this, and I know kids even now they do this, right? Even yes or no answer भन्दाखेरि पनि आफ्नो हो नि त yes or no opinion, but you still look at friend. मेरो साथीले हात उठाएको बेला त्यसले उठायो म उठाउँछु भनेर. हैन, these are one of the most simple things you do. But dear students, the friend to your left and your right, the friend in front of you and the friend behind you will not always be with you. Now we wish that they did, right? We wish college बेला देखिन masters देखिन जागिर पनि घर पनि सँगै सँगै होस्, एकदम लाग्ला नि त आफ्नो best friendहरु आफू throughout सधैँ होस् भनेर. But they will not be there, right? So opportunities आफ्नो अगाडि आउने बेलामा you ask yourself, do I want to take this opportunity? And if the answer is yes, you grab it, because opportunities don't knock twice, right? Or opportunities don't knock on your door. So like Sneha said, if you are in a position, or if you sort of take yourself in a position where you can create opportunities, do that. If you cannot, and you aren't in a position where you can create opportunities for yourself, if opportunities do show themselves to you, grab them.
So you talked about how we connect. अहिले पनि जस्तो हामी पनि त्यस्तै थियौँ स्टुडेन्ट लाइफमा हैन, दे आर डुइङ द सेम थिङ. अब त्यसमा अब अलिकति हाम्रो पास्ट जेनेरेसनको कुरा गर्दाखेरि हैन, अहिलेको युथहरूले चाहिँ आफूलाई कसरी डिस्टिङ्ग्विस गर्छ होला हुन्छ नि. अब हाम्रो इभन इफ यु आस्क द हबीज अफ आवर प्यारेन्ट्स एन्ड हबीज अफ टुडेज युथ, it's actually distinguished, हैन. So त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ like what are the changing aspirations and goals of today's youth? के देख्नु भएको छ हजुर?
All right, so let's ask this question to the audience. What are your goals? पछि भविष्यमा गएर तपाईलाई के हो अथवा के चाहिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ? What do you guys want? Money, and then skills. Money, skills, and happiness. And what else do you guys want? Peace. Okay. Satisfaction, happiness, peace, money. Nobody wants a nice big bungalow and helicopter, private jet. Happiness, peace, positivity. Oh, sabaiलाई चाहिने. So nice. What else? Bikes. Okay, now we're talking. And bikes and wives. Money. All right. So see, today's youth, you want a lot of different things, and it's only natural. You know, कतिले अहिले भन्नको लागि, of course, I want money, and चाहिन पनि चाहिन्छ. So यो चाहिँ ending तिर भन्छु भनेर सोचेको थिएँ, but I think 3 things that should guide all of our lives are also the 3 P's भनेर भनिन्छ के. So the first one is paper meaning money, right? The second thing that guides our life, the second P is passion. हैन त पैसै नआए पनि आफूलाई गीत गाउन एकदम मन लाग्छ भने त रेस्टुरेन्टहरुमा गएर अथवा आफ्नो रुममा क्यामेरा सेटअप गरेर आफ्नो युट्युब च्यानलमा गीत गाइन्छ, मन लाग्छ भने बेक गरिन्छ, राइट? Passion. And third is principle, meaning what you stand for and what you stand against in life. So these 3 P's I hope will guide your life. And your 3 P चाहिँ सबैको लाइफ फरक हुन्छ. Like for the person who said money, that P is number 1. For somebody who said happiness, if they do not derive happiness from a job that is paying them a lot of money, they will not stay there for long, right? They'll move and do something else. So you 3 P ma चाहिँ I personally would suggest you keep your principle number 1. Right? Principles नभएको मान्छेसँग धेरै लामो समयसम्म काम पनि गर्न मिल्दैन, संगत पनि राम्रो हुँदैन, is what they say, because आफ्नो principles त राम्रो हुन्. But everybody knows what principles is? Not your college principal, right? You know what principle is? के हो principle भने? अलि ठुलो सिद्धान्त अलिकति less complicated version मा values हैन, आफ्नो सिद्धान्तहरु, आफ्नो valuesहरु हो नि त, that should guide you, हैन? Number 1, that's what I feel. Now again, your 3 P's up and down as you go ahead in life हुन्छ होला, हैन? So paper, passion, principle, I hope these 3 things will guide you ahead in life. All of you also said what you want भनेर. Of course, if you compare that with your parents को generation, हामी भन्दा अगाडिको generation, it might not match or it might match, हैन? फरक हुन सक्छ. कतिचोटी हाम्रो पेरेन्ट्सले हामीलाई ओ त्यो त्यस्तो राम्रो जागिर किन छोड्ने, तिमी गर न भन्नुहुन्छ होला, हैन? उहाँहरुको लागि पनि पैसा महत्त्वपूर्ण भएर, because उहाँहरुलाई थाहा छ पैसाले संसार चलाउँछ, त्यसै कारणले इम्पोर्टेन्ट पनि छ भनेर. तर you might prioritize your peace, saying that does not give me happiness and so I wouldn't want to do it भनेर, हैन? But अब individual अहिलेको youthमा पनि different मान्छेहरुको लागि डिफरेंट कुरा इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन सक्छ. बट ओभरअल आई पर्सनली फील लाइक अहिलेको युथलाई, अहिलेको जेनेरेसनलाई चाहिँ इफ यु टेल देम अ गुड रिजन as to why they should or shouldn't do certain things, I believe they will comply. हामी जस्तो होइन कि आमा बाउले गर भनिसकेपछि गरिहाल्ने without asking a second question, without answering them back. चाहिँ नि अहिलेको युथहरुले गर्नु पनि पर्छ, that's very important. If you're told to do certain, wouldn't you ask why? You would, right? Simple things like राति नङ काट्नु हुँदैन, राति कुचो चलाउनु हुँदैन, ए किन भनेर हामी त ए ल हस् हुन्छ भनेर राखिदिन्थ्यो नि त. But I hope and I do wish that you ask these questions before anyone tells you to do something, and before you do them, you ask the why. That's important. आफूले किन के काम गरिरहेको छु अथवा किन के काम गरिरहेको छैन भनेर थाहा हुनु पर्यो नि त. So I think that is a fundamental change. The generation, the youth of today do ask the hard-hitting questions sometimes as to why they should do something, or accountability को कुरा लिएर पनि आफू पनि accountable हुनु पर्यो, अरु ठुलो organization, सानो organization लाई पनि accountable बनाउनु पर्यो. I think that's the main difference.
Thank you so much. थोरै अब हामी sustainability कुरा गर्छौँ हैन, in terms of हजुर you have been into your company for a lot of years and you have a lot of experiences हैन. So what steps is Coca-Cola taking to ensure sustainability and social responsibility expectations of today's youth?
That's a great question. It's a very big question. तपाईले भन्नु म धेरै वर्षसम्म यो कम्पनीमा काम गरिरहेको छु. आज 5 महिना भयो मैले जोइन गरेको कम्पनी, त्यो पनि भन्दै सबैजनालाई. But I think the reason I did want to become a part of Coca-Cola again is that globally pani Coca-Cola is very, very committed to sustainability, right? I think as a large company, we want to make sure that with all the work that we do, that we also leave behind a better and more positive impact on the communities that we're a part of, right? हाम्रो अहिले काठमाडौँमा एउटा प्लान्ट छ, बालाजुमा, अनि त्यसपछि भरतपुरमा एउटा प्लान्ट छ. That's the larger plant. हामीले कम्युनिटीमा युवाहरूसँग काम गरिरहेको छु। हाम्रो टिमको विक्रमजी पनि आउनु भएको छ, उहाँले त्यहाँ लोकल कम्युनिटीसँग काम गर्नुहुन्छ। त्यहाँ हामीले एजुकेसनमा कामहरू गरिरहेको छु। त्यसपछि विभिन्न कम्युनिटीमा आउने समस्याहरूमा पनि उहाँहरूले मिलेर, जस्तो बत्तीको लागि, पानीको लागि विभिन्न कम्युनिटीको एक्टिभिटिज उहाँहरूले भरतपुरमा अगाडि बढाएर लगिरहनु भएको छ। त्यसै गरी when it comes to sustainability, as you know, कोकोकोला बन्न पानी चाहिन्छ र पानी हामीले चलाउँछौँ पनि हाम्रो ड्रिङ्क्सहरूमा। तर यो गरे बापत हामीले 200% भन्दा धेरै पानी फेरि we have projects that replenish water into the ground as well. अहिले काठमाडौँ भ्यालीमा we have several projects in rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge. अनि if you know, तपाईँहरू चितवनतिर 20 हजारी ताल कसैले सुन्नुभएको छ? छैन? सो 20 हजारी ताल चाहिँ तराई आर्ट ल्यान्डस्केपमा छ। यो लेकलाई पनि रिस्टोर गर्नको लागि कोकोकोलाले वर्ल्ड वाइल्ड लाइफ फन्ड WWFसँग पनि हामीले पार्टनर गरेर अहिले तपाईँले विचार गर्नुभयो भने संसारभरिको कन्ट्रिजहरूमा नेपालमा हामीले जति पानी चलाउँछौँ नि त्योभन्दा 200% हामीले फेरि जमिनमा पठाउने चाहिँ एउटा नेपालको टिमको लागि पनि एउटा ठुलो अकम्प्लिसमेन्ट हो होइन। त्यस्तै तपाईँहरूले याद गर्नुभयो होला, हाम्रो अहिले कतिवटा बोटल्स जस्तो हाम्रो पुरानो ग्लासको बोटल पनि छ। ग्लासको बोटल हामी किन चलाउँछौँ? बिकज इट इज रिटर्नेबल, वी क्यान वास इट एन्ड वी क्यान रियुज इट। अहिले धेरै ठाउँमा संसारमा ग्लास बोटल चलाउन धेरै कम भइसक्यो, तर अलिकति अप्ठ्यारो भयो भने अलिकति जहाँ बसेर त्यहीँ पिउनु पऱ्यो भने हामी ग्लास बोटल किन चलाउँछौँ? सो द्याट we can reuse the same bottles as well होइन। त्यस्तै PET हेर्नुहुन्छ भने हामीले हुन त तपाईँहरूलाई थाहा छ, खास चाहिँ यङ मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ अब अलिकति आफ्नो झोलामा सट्ट राखेर लग्न सजिलो हुने गरी पोर्टेबल जिग्री ब्याग पनि बनाएको थियौँ हामीले। तर यो बनाइसकेपछि अहिले हाम्रो यति धेरै पार्टनरसिपहरू छ क्रिएसन जस्तो संस्थासँग, नगर मित्र जस्तो संस्थासँग, जहाँ चाहिँ हामीले आफ्नो मात्रै होइन अरूले पनि प्रड्युस गर्नुभएको पानीको बोतल, अरू बेभरेजको बोतलहरू सबै कलेक्ट गरेर हामी रिसाइकल गर्छौँ। र अहिले संसारभरि सुन्नुहोस् है, हामी नेपाल धेरै सानो देश हो, तर इफ यु लुक एट द वर्ल्ड, नेपालमा हामीले मोर देन 46% अफ जति हामीले प्रड्युस गर्छौँ त्यो कलेक्ट गरिरहेको छौँ र अझै एम्बिसियसली अझै धेरै गर्ने पनि कोसिस गर्छौँ। सो यो चाहिँ अलिकति 2-3टा हाम्रो इक्जाम्पलहरू भयो। र अघि चाहिँ सक्षमको भिडियो पनि हजुरले देख्नै सक्नुभयो। तपाईँले हाम्रो टिमहरूमा पनि हेर्नुभयो भने, जस्तो प्रिसेलर्स हेर्नुभयो भने होइन, कम्पनीमा होल कम्पनीमा प्रिसेलर्स हेर्नुभयो भने 60% महिला हुनुहुन्छ, एन्ड मोस्ट अफ देम आर अन्डर द एज अफ 25 है। सो we're talking about inclusion and about sustainability as well होइन। सो सक्षम जस्तो प्रोग्रामले, वर्ल्ड विदाउट वेस्ट जस्तो प्रोग्रामले र विभिन्न पानीमा गर्ने कामहरूले चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ we're trying to do the best we can to leave behind a better community than the one we founded at Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Social media को कुरा गरौँ होइन, youths are very active in terms of technology and social media. So what role होइन अहिले looking at the present generation, present condition, what role does social media plays in shaping the attitude and behavior of young people? All right.
Before I answer that question, I want everybody to put both their hands up. Please nudge your friends on the sides also, who haven't put their hands up. Both hands, please. All right, welcome back to somebody. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. This is just a small exercise to make sure that all of you are not just physically but also mentally present here, because I know, again, my TikTok generation भन्ने नि त हैन, एकदम instantaneous, एकदम रमाइलो कुरा भइरहेछ नि, 15 सेकेन्ड पछि के हुन्छ or 5 सेकेन्ड पछि नै next, right? So I just wanted to bring all of you back into this conversation that we're having. We were talking about tomorrow's world, a lot of opportunities for the youth, all of that. I think social media is a great platform. How many of you are not on social media? Now don't be shy to put your hands up, it's all right. See, again, okay. Let's do part-wise. How many of you don't have a TikTok account? All right. How many of you don't have Instagram? How many of you don't have Facebook? All right. So very few, right? I guess 5% of the entire class, they don't use social media. Now to those who don't use, I want to ask you, why are you not present in social media? एकजनाले उभिएर भनिदिउँ न त ल. You don't have a social media, right? Who put your hands together? Yeah, hey, hands up. So why did you decide not to have social media? Not interested. All right. Anybody else who would like to share why they aren't on social media? All of you guys have social media? Now to the guys who do have social media, why do you have social media? Why? Entertainment. Ani? News. Connecting with people, right? So social media ko pani definition haru kasto chitto change bhayirako cha ni हैन? What do you think TikTok is mostly used for? Shut up. Dancing, book steps. So, but on TikTok also, you can follow people to learn new skills, people who will help you budget better, people who will help you show some amazing food finds like Siddharth does, right? TikTok ma uha pani active bhayera धेरै त्यस्तो कुराहरु देखाउनुहुन्छ. So it also, I think, boils down and depends on what you are looking for, right? What am I, or what do I want? If I want people dancing, I'll probably look at 5 videos of people dancing and the algorithm will automatically suggest 10 more people dancing. If I go to the search box and type budgeting or finance, it will show me people on TikTok who are not dancing but talking about budgeting, finance, accounting, public speaking, all of that, right? So specifically, आफूले पनि के खोज्ने भनेर हो नि त, हैन? And again, for all these social media also, they also have to stay in trend. They also have to make sure that they have the most users, most active users, not just downloads, but most active users. So they also do all kind of things. Now, मेरो perspective, I personally feel like social media is a great tool to voice out your opinions, to even simple things like stay connected with your loved ones, right? It's also a great source to gather new knowledge, to learn new skills, and different कुराहरुलाई, or it can be as simple as 15 minutes of good laughter. हैन त, हेरेर मज्जाले हाँस्न पनि मिल्यो नि त, हैन? त्यसको लागि मात्र युज गर्दा पनि हुन्छ, and no shame in that. Every second of your life doesn't have to be a learning process नि त. सधैँ ज्ञानको कुरा मात्रै सिक्नुपर्छ भन्ने छैन नि. कहिलेकाहीँ र्यान्डम भिडियो हेरेर हाँस्दा पनि भयो, हैन त? All different things को लागि social media use गर्न मिल्छ. But personally, आफू पनि as young people social media मा हुने बेलामा चाहिँ आफू के कुरा राख्ने नराख्ने भनेर चाहिँ aware हुनुस् भन्ने जस्तो लाग्छ. That is one thing I would ask you to be aware of. अनि आफ्नो principle अनुसार नै बस्नुस्, even on social media. What is right for you, what is wrong for you. And as a celebrity, as a media personality, म चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ insane pressure feel गर्छु in social media because ओ तपाईले यसको बारेमा किन नबोल्नु भएको, यो तपाईलाई मतलब छैन हो भनेर so many people write to us, not just me, I think, and so many other people who they feel like genuinely they have this power, have this voice, अनि यो कुराहरुको बारेमा बोल्नु पर्छ भनेर जस्तो. But I am also just an individual, right? म पनि त एउटा individual मात्रै हो. I might also be processing things or incidents that happened and need to take my time नि त. ब्रेकिङ न्यूज जस्तो गरेर आफ्नो सोशल मिडियामा फ्याट स्टेटस राख्न म सक्दिनँ नि इन्डिभिजुअली, हैन? तपाईहरु पनि कति कुरामा इन्भल्भ हुने नहुने भनेर हेर्नुस् जस्तो लाग्छ when it comes to social media, because you already have so much going on in your life. अब सोशल मिडियामा कोहीसँग वार सुरु गरेर त्यसको बारेमा अब के रिप्लाई दिने, उले रिप्लाई दिएपछि भनेर सोच्नु नपरोस्, right? Because that is an unnecessary pressure I feel like you don't need in your life. अनि म पनि I understand with the position that I am, मैले केही भन्दिदा लेख्दिदा धेरै जनामा जस्तो समाचार पुग्छ होला, or मैले धेरैको opinion पनि change गर्न सक्छु होला. That's why even on social media, influencer marketing is such a big thing, right? Where people promote products and services. But as the audience, you need to be smart, हैन त? You need to know what is a genuine review, what is a paid review, कस्तो हो के हो भनेर हेर्नुपर्छ. But social media is a fantastic tool. But also, one thing to account for is how many of you on a weekly basis see your screen time. Okay. And what is the average? 12 hours. 6 hours. 5 hours? 8 hours? Raat bari? Anybody has 1-2 hours? No? Minimum ne kati? 3-4 hours? 4 hours? More than that? So isn't that, imagine we have 24 hours in one day. We have 24 hours and you come to college, kati time ko lagi? 5 hours, 6 hours. You are suggested that you need to get a good night's sleep of about 6 to 8 hours. And 4 hours, roughly, 4 hours दिनमा तपाईले एउटा स्किल सिक्नको लागि युज गर्नुभयो भने by the end of the month or the end of the year, imagine how incredible you will be in that skill. So time को example मात्रै दिएको 4 घण्टा तपाईले कुकिङ नै प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुभयो अरे for 4 hours you practice cooking every single day. By the end of the year you'll probably be a fantastic baker, right? तर अहिले 4 घण्टा केमा वेस्ट भइराछ? And it's all right, but just keep track of your social media screen time. If you don't know कसरी गर्ने भनेर, I'm sure all of you know, right, how to look at your screen time. Just talk to a friend who does and start tracking that screen time also, because that's very, very important. Now this is coming from somebody who always has to be in social media, promote a lot of things also, but it's very, very important for your mental health as well, and to just make sure that you as youth who we are depending on will have a really nice future, will build a better tomorrow. तपाईले आफ्नो समय केमा युटिलाइज गरिराख्नु भएको छ भनेर पनि केयरफुल चाहिँ हुनुहोस्. So social media is good, bad and ugly, but please be on the good side of social media.
So a gentle reminder, if you have any questions for our panelists, सबैजनाले have that questions ready and give it to Abhilasha so that she can hand it down the questions later on. And we're coming at the end of today's panel discussion about थोरै skills को कुरा गरौँ हैन. Young people need right set of skills भनिन्छ हैन. So हजुरको हिसाबमा चाहिँ young people लाई एकदमै most crucial skills हरु चाहिँ के हो जस्तो लाग्छ? Yeah, you can start then. You can pass.
All right. I think the one most important skill, okay, I can't say one now that I said one. I think I'd like to say some important skills are, first, depending also on what all of you said, what you want in the future, I would say to voice out your opinions, or to have the skill to voice out your opinions. Now public speaking नै म भन्दिनँ, तर नेपालीमा पनि कस्तो राम्रो भनाइ छ नि, बोल्नेको नबोल्नेको भन्नुको अर्थ के हो? बोल्नु पर्यो. तर एक्जाम्पलको लागि चामल र पिठोमा यो भनाइमा चामललाई बढी भ्याल्यु गरेको भयो हैन. चामल मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट. सो बोल्नेको पिठो पनि बिग्छ, नबोल्नेको चामल पनि बिग्दैन भने हो नि त. तपाईहरु सबैजना चामल हो रे के. All of you are something that the market is looking for. हैन, चामल खोजिरहेको छ, तपाईहरु सबैजना चामल हो हैन. तर बिकज तपाईहरु एकदम राम्रो हुनुहुन्छ, डेली चाहिन्छ सबैजना चामल. तर तपाई भन्दा कम स्किल भएको, कम नलेज भएको मान्छे चाहिँ or people चाहिँ पिठो भयो रे हैन. बजारमा म आए, मलाई चामल चाहिरहेछ, तपाईहरु चुपचाप बसिराख्नु भएको छ, के बोल्नु भएको छैन हैन. तर पिठोले चाहिँ पिठो लिनुस् राम्रो पिठो सस्तो पिठो भनेर भनेको भने छ रे. अब मैले चामल खोजिरहेछु, चामल नपाएपछि मैले पिठो लिएर जान्छु, because मेरो घर त चलाउनु पर्यो, खाना खानु पर्यो, all of that. So a simple skill that all of you need to have is to be able to voice out your opinions, is to be able to speak up. अब यसरी माइक समातेर पब्लिकमै भनेर भन्दिन, तर simple things like convincing your friend to go watch Pathan even though you know it's not going to be a nice movie. त्यसको लागि पनि स्किल चाहियो नि त. आफ्नो साथीले खतरा कन्भिन्स गर्न सक्नु पर्यो, किन जाने त भनेर. Or for example, asking your parents to increase your pocket money. अहिले दिराको पैसाले पुगेन, बढी पैसा चाहियो. सो पेरेन्ट्सलाई कन्भिन्स त गर्नु पर्यो नि. मेरो साथीहरु सबैजना हेर्नुस् यस्तो छ, मेरो छैन, अलिकति त्यस्तै मलाई पनि चाहियो, म यो क्लास जाँदै छु त्यसको लागि, whatever. कन्भिन्स गर्ने स्किल चाहियो. सो त्यो कसरी गर्ने हो? बोलेर, right? So त्यो skill very important. Second, I would say this generation really needs to be kind, and not just to each other, but to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself, because we oftentimes, as soon as we make a mistake, the words we speak to ourselves are sometimes words that we wouldn't even say to others. हैन? थुक्क यति पनि गर्न नसक्ने म त हेत्तेरी के गरेर खान्छ जिन्दगीमा अब भनेर. And that's not healthy and that's not nice. So be kind, not just to others, but to yourself also. Right? What was my first tip? What was my second tip? Being kind to yourself. Empathetic huna siknu, be kind to yourself. I think those are the skills that are very, very important moving forward. And don't be afraid of hard work. अलिअलि पसिना चाहिँ आउनुपर्छ भनेर नडराउनुस्. And be grateful. 4 tips. So what was my first tip? Communication, being able to speak, right? What was my second tip? Being kind. What was my third tip? Don't be afraid of hard work, right? Smart work गर्ने हो तर hard work बाट नडराउनुस्. And fourth is being grateful. You have the opportunities that many others don't. कहिलेकाहीँ तपाईले पाउनु भएको कुरा जुन तपाईलाई भने जस्तो लाग्ला, कति मान्छेहरू त्यही कुरा पाउनको लागि भगवानसँग दिनरात प्रार्थना गर्छ होला, हैन? So be grateful. And as soon as you're grateful and you have that positive mindset and positive attitude, everything will start looking beautiful. Alright, so those are my 4 skills.
Thanks, Alicia. I think there are a lot of takeaways there already. This one, I think, एउटा part communication को जुन कुरा गर्नुभयो नि सदीक्षाले, I just wanted to add to that a little bit. And I'll relate this to a certain experience I have had. So often when I introduce myself to someone, I'll say, hi, my name is Sneh, something, something. The person sitting opposite me will always assume, oh, you mean Sneha? Right? Sneha भन्नुहुन्छ, right? So here, अनि फेरि म फेरि भन्छु हैन, मलाई स्नेह भन्नुस्, मेरो नाम स्नेह हो भनेर, है. So एउटा मैले कसरी जोड्न खोजेको भने यसलाई, sometimes the person sitting opposite to you will choose to hear you, but they'll choose not to listen to you, right? So one thing I want to encourage all of you in this room is, if you are participating in anything, हैन, कसैले के भन्नुहुन्छ भने त्यसलाई माथि माथिबाट मात्र नसुन्दिनुस्, त्यसलाई actually your opinions and what you think very important. But equally important is the skill set to receive and to listen to what the other person is saying, even if it is something whether you agree with it or disagree with it, right? Because I feel like that's always a good learning opportunity. Second thing चाहिँ I think हेर्नुस्, अब कतिजना हामीहरू अहिले bachelor's गरिरहेका छौँ यहाँ. Maybe some of us aspire to go abroad for our masters, or maybe some of you want to study elsewhere, right? म चाहिँ when I was in 8th grade, 8 कक्षामा हुँदा म पहिलोचोटि नेपालबाट अमेरिकामा 1 वर्षको लागि गएँ हैन, for 1 year, right? So I did 8th grade in the US. अनि त्यतिखेर मैले के थाहा पाएँ भने नेपाल हामी धेरै ठुलो देश पनि हैन. Often every interaction you have with somebody that is not from your country, you're actually a brand ambassador for your country in that sense. So त्यो इन्टरेक्सनमा तपाईले उहाँहरुसँग कसरी व्यवहार गर्नुहुन्छ, के भन्नुहुन्छ, you're leaving an impression for your whole 30 million people when you meet that one person outside of your country. So try, I mean, not saying that you have to be perfect, तर सकेसम्म, like Sadiksha said, be kind, be grateful, be authentic, and leave behind a better impression so that भविष्यमा पनि कोही नेपालीले उहाँसँग इन्टरेक्ट गर्नुहुन्छ भने let them think Nepalis are amazing people, humble people, and people to be reckoned with in the world as well. And last thing I wanted to share is, I'm kind of, I think, connecting back to an older question as well. Nepalma, I think, सबैजनाले भन्नुहुन्छ, we all sort of think यो भएन, त्यो भएन, but right now I feel like it's a very, very exciting time to be in Nepal and to be a part of the younger generation in Nepal. किनभने we have the opportunity to be the first in so many things. अहिले तपाईहरुलाई थाहा नै होला, Siddharth, who unfortunately couldn't be here, he's the first food blogger in the country. He's disrupted a whole industry, right? If you look at हाम्रो Santosh Shah, he has the potential to be the first Michelin star chef in the country. अघि सदीक्षाले पनि भन्नुभयो हैन, if for every day for 4 hours you spend some time cultivating a skill, spend time becoming specialized in something, imagine like you could be the first Grand Slam winner in tennis. You could be the first best golf player, you know. You could be an astronaut, anything. Nepal ko eti opportunities hamro, you know. I think this is just some kind of reflection coming back from me. I'm in my 30s. I'm a generalist, you know. You still have 10 years to specialize in something. So I think if you can, do take the time to persist and to explore your passions and really try and specialize in something so you can be the best at it and so you can really not just showcase yourself but Nepal to the world as well. Thank you.
So thank you so much, everyone. So are we energized? Yes! Will you take the key takeaways of today's session? Yes! Will you incorporate it in your life? Yes! Will you be more confident in your life? Yes! And do you believe you can make a better world? Yes! See, now they're saying, yeah, it's louder and clear. Thank you so much, everyone. That was really wonderful having you here. So we had a wonderful discussion about today's youth for tomorrow's world. So youth are actually the change maker. They are the agents of change. They are not just the future, but they are the present who can bring change in our country and who can make the impact, who can inspire our future generations and lead a wonderful life in developing the country and developing the world. This concludes the last episode of Coca-Cola Presents Youth Dialogue by Glocal Pvt Ltd. And this was a wonderful journey so far, and we are very thankful to our supporting hands for being here, for supporting our initiatives, and we are really grateful for all of that. So we'll be back with different youthful events in future. Till then, stay tuned, and thank you, everyone.
So there's a little surprise for you all. As a part of this panel discussion, youth discussion, and also we had our team member Vilasa to collect questions from all of you here. So, like we said, Youth Booster question, we have a Youth Booster award as well. So one of the students who raised questions, the one that the panel has selected and liked the most and which actually lightened up the discussion, will receive a token from Coca-Cola